All right, everyone. We're joined today by as a man of many names as far as we're concerned. He goes by Dakota, Vada, Vegas, but we're joined by Navada Waterman from Coudersport. He's currently a senior at RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. How's it going, buddy?
It's going. Just surviving the whole coronavirus. Just doing my best to survive.
Right. So I always like to talk about first how, we kind of came cross paths and how you kind of came to play for the Twins. You have a pretty good one. The first year we did a travel team was called Blueprint Baseball. It was yet to be the Northeast Twins. And the very first time we played, was that like a senior league all-star team that you were playing with then?
Yeah, I think it was Babe Ruth. I think it was, I don't remember how old we were, 14 or 15 maybe. But yeah, it was a Babe Ruth
15
league.
or 16, yeah. And we played against you, and you started off, you were pitching against us, hitting leadoff. I think the first 2 innings you pitched and kind of cruised right through. And then I remember like the third inning, your team made a couple errors, and we got a couple hits, and we got like 3 runs. And I remember they took you out, and you went to shortstop, and you like slammed your glove off your leg and like threw your glove off the ground. I'm like, ooh, I like that kid. Like he's got some energy. And then you had like 3 or 4 hits against us. And I was talking to your dad, and he knew me from wrestling. We kind of got to talking, and then we had tournaments for us like later on in the summer. And I remember asking your dad that we were going to Pittsburgh for a tournament, and I don't think we had enough guys. And I texted him, asked if you wanted to play, and he's like, no questions asked, like not like where it was, nothing. He's like, yep, he'll play. And then we ended up, me and Sarah picked you up at the Smithport Tasty Freeze. Who didn't know you at all, had never talked to you at all. I think your grandpa might have.
Yep, just a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, you sat in the back, and you were pretty quiet back then, and we were on our way, and you like weren't saying anything at all. We kind of had to like coax it out of you. You still didn't say much, but
I was a little nervous. I didn't know anybody I was in the car with. I just hopped in a car and on the way we were.
We go to the first tournament. We take you on your first Chick-fil-A binge. I think we went like 5 times, but we had to
never had it before.
Never had. I had to break in, and we had to go to Arby's for you. That's your number one go-to. So we always laugh about, like, I think literally every time. I don't think there's ever been a time since then that me and Sarah have seen an Arby's and not been like, oh, look, I bet you Nevada would want to stop there. So you played for the Twins. You finished you basically played the rest of the year with the Blueprint Baseball. I don't think you missed anything. And then
I don't think so. I played a lot that summer with you guys.
Right, and then you come back the next year when we were first year as Northeast Twins. Played the whole summer. Kind of talk about your recruiting stuff. Now, it kind of happened. I think yours was in the fall, right, where you ended up figuring out you wanted to go to RIT, like the fall of your senior year.
Yeah, I think what happened was I had a PBR tournament. I don't remember where it was at, but I think it was somewhere in Rochester.
Oh, that was.
It was one of the New York games. I remember.
It was the first ever New York State games, and like the very last minute, Dan Savit, the guy that's in charge, said, "Hey, do you have anybody that would like come pitch?" And I'm like, "I have a couple of guys, but they're from Pennsylvania." He's like, "That's fine." And you and Brady went up and pitched for like separate teams. That's right.
Yeah. I didn't get to play any defense though, but yeah, I pitched. I think it was an inning or 2 in that.
Yeah.
But that's how I got kind of introduced to the whole Rochester scene. And then I was looking around for schools, not really a whole lot of baseball. I wanted to play, but it wasn't like a deal breaker. And then I kind of ended up going to Rochester for chemistry actually. And then sort of phased into civil engineering from that. And that's kind of how I got started.
So was that something where the education was going to be most important for you? Like if you had to choose between education and playing, would that have been kind of what won out if it had to?
I think so, yeah. I wanted to play, but I knew that I wasn't going like big time right away or anything. So I knew that getting my education in line first was most important. And then after that, if I could play, great. If not, it sucks not good to play, but I knew there had to be an end sooner or later, but luckily it's not over yet.
Right. Okay, so what you get there, what's the difference? I mean, we come from a real small, area in Pennsylvania where maybe, a couple times a year you're facing good competition, but, for the most part, it's kind of hit or miss whether, so what was that transition like going from baseball in D9 to college baseball?
It's pretty eye opening. Like every team you play always has good pitchers. It's not like you can take a game off or anything. Sometimes you get here and there, you get to play teams that aren't as good, but for the most part, they always have at least somebody throwing upper 80s or so, lower 90s. So it was a bit different. I hadn't really seen a whole lot of velocity like that
Right.
consistently, at least. But it
I
was
think
pretty
that's
eye opening.
the biggest thing is like it almost like for me like you never get a break. It's like every once in a while like people say like, oh, I like facing good competition. That's true, but if you're like struggling a little bit, you're like, give me the guy that's throwing like 82 and it's like a straight fastball that I can just hammer to like make myself feel good again. But if you're playing like a good college baseball, you never get that. Like every guy you got to compete against and like grind it out. That was always what I thought was the biggest difference.
Well, even midweeks, because you're playing against guys that aren't in their established roles yet. So they're out to play. A lot of guys are in midweeks. They're like, that's just a midweek. We're just playing. But
Right.
sometimes you play against guys that are trying to earn a spot, and that makes it even more tough.
Right. Now, when you originally kind of went there, and I think it was kind of for both, but pitching was a big thing for you. Like you had always been, that was kind of your deal. What led to the transition to being like a full-time infielder?
So when I was a junior in high school, I had a little bit of UCL problems. It wasn't anything major, but it was a little bit of tendonitis. And then when I got to RIT, we kind of had like an actual recovery plan. And in high school, it was just like our recovery was just like jogging a couple miles here and there.
Yeah.
Where I got the RIT and we had to do like shuttles and actually do real recovery. And I was never really a fan of that, and it just kind of drew me away from it. And I didn't really like the idea of having to pitch and then go play a position with a hurt arm. And I kind of either want to do one or the other, and I preferred to play the infield and not be hurt all the time.
Right. I gotcha. So, you've obviously you've been there. You've had quite a bit of success. You've you guys have had quite a bit of team success. Kind of talk about your overall experience at RIT with Coach Rob Grow.
So my first year, I came in, I was pretty quiet. I didn't really, I mean, I've never really played on other teams besides Blueprint, Twins, and my home teams.
Right.
So I got to the team and I was kind of in the corner, not really knowing what was going to happen. I never really had to earn my spot on the team before. So I kind of went in. I was expecting maybe to play a little bit here and there, but I didn't know if I was going to have a full-time spot. So fall comes around. I have a pretty good fall. I'm still a little shaky because our second baseman was a senior at the time. Well, I think he was a junior actually, but he was an older guy, and I mean he was bigger than me. I didn't really expect a whole lot, but then come the season, he plays the first game or two, and then I finally get to start playing a little bit. I hit pretty well. I play pretty good defense, and then he finds his way over first, and I find my way in the lineup, and we have a pretty good not in school history. So I mean, it was a pretty good taste of college for the first year, that's for sure.
Right. And then just this time now, it's crazy. This coronavirus, it's just interrupting everything. This was your senior year. Kind of a tough way. I'm sure you kind of probably had plans, all right, yeah, I'm going to finish out this season, maybe a job lineup or something. What's that been like having this completely wiped out with the pandemic?
So we were in Florida on our spring trip when we first heard about the whole thing breaking out. We didn't know that everything was going to be canceled yet,
Yeah.
but I think it was like the second or third to last day being in Florida, we found out that our season was probably going to be canceled. And up to that point, I kind of was like accepting that was my last season. Hadn't really hit me yet. And then our last game, we were
Oh, you guys, was
up
that
11-1 or so, and we ended up
you
getting like
played
those
Wells?
Wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we were up 11-1, spot in the bottom of the last inning, and we ended up losing that game. And I was like, oh man, it hadn't really hit me yet. That was my last game.
Right.
And then we went out and coach gave all the introductions for all the seniors and the parents and everything. And I was like, I mean, I cannot be done if I don't want to be done. I can play a whole nother year. So I was slated to graduate this coming Christmas, but now we've worked it out where I can have my spring semester, I'll have one class and still be eligible to play. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too hard of a class then.
That's
Just
once a week, and I think it'll be good enough for me.
right, that'd be awesome. So, do you plan on like working maybe like to fill some time, or what are you
I
gonna
thought
do?
about it. I thought about doing maybe like a part-time thing to help pay for because I'm gonna be part-time for school, so it's gonna be more. I'm not gonna have as much financial aid.
Right,
So I thought about doing part jobs, but I'm taking it as it goes. I'm gonna
right,
see how it goes in the first week or two. If I feel like I need some extra money, then I'll do it. If not, I'll just play ball for a semester.
right. And kind of what are you able to? And obviously we're limited like with gyms being closed and stuff. What are you maybe able to do weight wise or hitting running stuff as while we're stuck inside in quarantine?
How do I flip this thing? So we have a little. I don't know how to turn my camera on, but we had this little home gym
Oh,
thing.
there you go. Yeah.
So we can do that here and there. My dad and I have been to the field whenever it's nice out. We've been hitting. I got a couple buddies. Colin, he played for you.
Right.
We've hit down at the field a couple times. So I've been trying to keep with it, but I mean it is tough. But the Chambers facility is still open for us to hit and everything in. So we've been doing our best to stay in shape.
Right. And it's tough too. Like I talked to this about this with Burlingame. I think a little bit like it's almost nice. Not that it's nice. You obviously you want to be playing, like you want to be out there, but kind of just to like reset, and get like recharged and just maybe hit a couple times a week, lift a couple times a week, where you're not going at it every day because
Yeah, and it's not like
you,
set schedule.
for realistically for you, you're probably not playing to the fall, right? Like I don't think you're not planning on playing summer ball.
I don't think so. No.
Right. So, like kind of just it's nice, kind of a nice time to get a little bit of a break and let that hunger build a little bit and then get back after you kind of feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah, so my first summer I played for the Oilers, and
Right.
that's a grueling summer season, especially right after that long season that we had because we played 3 or 4 weeks after the semester ended. So it was that whole season right into summer ball, back into fall ball, and you never really got
Well, it's
an
not
actual
even
break.
it's not even that too. I mean, you played your senior year of high school, then you played for Grota Pro, then you
Yeah.
played, you're playing fall ball, and then like you hit that freshman wall where you're not used to playing every day in the spring and stuff. Like and then you play every day in the summer, like you said, and then right back into fall ball. Like it's a crazy kind of two-year span where you're not taking a break at all.
Yeah, and then I had that first summer where I was just working, and it was nice to have some money in my pocket, but it was a big change of pace, not having to drive to practice and then maybe drive 2 hours to play a game and then drive
Right.
home. And yeah, it was a big change of pace, that's for sure.
So you think? I mean, I know for me, like if I was like still as a player, like this time off would have been nice to kind of get a plan and get going. But then it's like, all right, and eventually it's like I'm itching to get back out there. Is that kind of how you feel too?
Yeah, so we have team meetings. We have 3 every week. So like especially when you sit down and you get to see all your teammates, see all the guys, is like I
Right.
kind of wish I was still there. I mean, it's better to be with your team and having fun with them than it is to be trying to get better on your own. We were trying to get facilities, like we're getting stuff mailed out to us for like hitting sensors and stuff,
Yeah,
but it's just not the same to be here by yourself when you know you could be on campus with all your guys.
for sure. Like I always felt like with me, like I liked playing. Like I enjoyed the competition, like the actual game, trying to all that. But some of them, like my favorite times, it was like getting a couple of your buddies, you're in the cage, getting swings in, or or saying they're getting the lift in or something like that. Like, that's like the most fun. Like that's what I should say. That's what I missed the most. Like after I got done playing, was like that part of it, even more than actually playing in the games.
Well, yeah, I mean, you basically live with these guys. Once you go to
Right.
college, you see them every day. You're always with them. So you have your classes with some of them. You live with some of them. I mean, then you get yanked home and you can't see them or anything. And I mean, it's just I don't know. It makes you miss it, I guess.
Right, for sure. All right. Well, I think that's kind of covers your illustrious baseball career. You want to do some rapid fire questions?
Sure, I'll do my
You
best to
can.
answer them.
All right. Um, favorite Major League Baseball team?
Oh man, I'm gonna get a lot of ridicule for this, but I like the New York Mets.
Ooh, okay. Favorite player.
Carlos Beltran.
Number you wear and why?
So when I was in high school, I was always number one. Mainly because it was the only jersey that fit me because I was so little. It's their only small jersey they had. And then I transitioned to 15. 15 was Beltran's number. And then now I'm 16 because that was the closest I could get to 15 when I was a freshman. That was the only number I could get. That was in the teens. That was closest to 15.
Right. So when you got 16, I'm sure 15 eventually became available. Did you think about switching?
I did a little bit, but then I had all the clothes already with 16
Right.
on it, and I was like, I don't want to have half 15, half 16. So I stuck it out. So here
Just
we
stuck
are with
with it.
16
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
All right. Walk up song. Do you guys have them, or what would it be if you don't?
Yeah, so I was a freshman and I had Viva Las Vegas. We didn't get to pick our walk-up songs freshman year, so that was my walk-up song that year. Last or sophomore year, I had the Caillou remix. That was kind of a random one. I don't really know why that was a thing, but
Right.
last year we didn't really have many home games. I think we had maybe 2 or 3. We didn't play in Rochester at all because of the weather last year. So
Right.
last year I didn't even really have a walk-up song. And then this year, I think I was gonna go with some Jason Aldean song. I wasn't really sure yet, but we didn't even get to play a single game in New York
Right.
last year or this
Yeah.
past season.
Um.
So next year we'll see what's hot and we'll go from there.
Right. Got to go with whatever is good at the time. Right.
Yeah,
Um.
exactly.
College major. You mentioned it, but go ahead and say it again.
So I'm in civil engineering right now. So freshman year I came in as a chemistry major that lasted all of 2 weeks. And then once that 2 weeks was over, I was like, this isn't it. This isn't what I
Right.
want to do. So I switched over to civil engineering and I've been in that for the last 4 years.
All right. What's your career plans with that?
So I'm thinking project management, basically gonna try to run construction sites, something like that. I'm not sure if I want to do like commercial construction or bridges or what I'm gonna end up doing, but some kind of project management.
Something there. Yeah. Um. Favorite musician or rapper or music group, like whatever.
All right, so I've got a couple. I've got a couple phases. Sometimes I like to listen to rock. Sometimes I listen to country. But my favorite country musician is Jason Aldean. When I get on a country kick, I kind of listen to him over and over and over and over.
Right.
So he's my favorite country artist. And then my favorite rock artist was 3 Days Grace when I was growing up. And I actually just recently got hooked back into them. So I'm on a 3 Days Grace kick right now.
Is that like Cullen's like screaming like headbanging music that he listens to, or not quite?
Oh man, I like that too. I'm a big fan of that. That was more like when we were in football. We got introduced to that in the weight room,
Yeah.
but then we just kind of slowly transitioned to just listening to it because we liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I listen to the same kind of stuff he does.
All right. Um, Favorite movie of all time?
Holes. So I didn't really read a whole lot of books back in the day when I was in high school or now, but the one book that I read was Holes, and that was the movie that I could relate to, not relate to, but I knew the most about because I read the book.
Right.
So that was my favorite movie.
All right. And then what's your go-to dugout treat? Like you a seeds guy, gum.
Um, Probably the sweet and spicy seeds, not the sweet and salty ones. Those ones are no good. The sweet and spicy, and if you mix in a little sizzling bacon in there, oh man, that's a match made in
So you
heaven.
like pre-mixing it, almost like a like taking
Yeah,
two
yeah.
bites
I
of
don't
it?
put them in my mouth. I just put them all in one bag, shake them up, and then sometimes you get more of the sweet and spicy, sometimes more sizzling bacon, but you can't
All
go
right, I
wrong.
like that. All right. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on and doing the interview. Haven't talked to you in a while, but we'll always stay in a little bit of touch, at least here and there. But like I said, it was funny how we just played against you, and then all of a sudden you were playing for us and for a couple of years and stuff. So always appreciated having you around. You're always in a good mood, always making things fun. So um, glad you're going to be able to get another year back and go back and play, and looking forward to following your last season.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It was good to talk to you again.
So, all right. Well, I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm sure we'll stay in touch and we'll go from there.
Yeah, hopefully we can come see each other sooner or later if this ever picks up this virus thing.
All right. Well, maybe you get some home games. I'll come watch you play.
Come watch us beat up whoever we're playing this year.
St. John's Fisher?
Yeah, then I got Murph no more. So
Yeah. So,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it'll be a good game. I'm sure.
always is, right?
Of course, crosstown rivals.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
All right. We'll see you, buddy.
See ya.